Wait, I'll only check.
Even the QC volunteers, please put your mask on.
See, these two streams are up here, like prelims and finals are here.
Okay, then stream this one.
But these got stopped in between only. Because the internet got disconnected.
Again, we don't have a seat. I can't see.
We can't do anything.
Now we have
Unlimited
this,
internet.
so this time I don't think now it's like
So you can hear this audio, but whatever we are speaking is good.
actually what we are speaking, at least in that much radius can be heard.
Filling the front row as well. If you guys are uncomfortable, all the last rows, the first row is empty. If you guys are uncomfortable, all the last rows, the first row is empty. Start filling the second row first. Start filling the second row.
Done now?
Yeah, but we need the link. So can you just send the link if you can?
QC volunteers, can you raise your hand? QC volunteers, please spread out to the corners, especially the last 4-5 rows. You can stand along this side, not the aisle.
I've sent the link. I've sent the link. Yeah, it's on.
Guys, a lot of you are not wearing masks right now. Please wear your mask as much as possible. And leave 1 feet gap between two days.
We'll make it larger.
Guys in the back, please settle down.
DSLR नहीं है नॉर्मल ऐप
Ask them to comment fast. It's starting.
Remember that 2 people as audience. And 2 people as audience.
What's the name?
Those people there. So then audience QC they just want to watch. Is it fine? I was thinking we can wait. I was thinking we can wait probably like see if that gets filled in and all that. Is it fine or
I hope every team has got an answer
want to
sheet
watch it
and
out,
fill the form. We'll be using these forms to contact you during your chosen final. Also, like if there's any team that has only 2 members or there's any lone wolves that are looking to pair up, please raise your hand so we can form those teams now. Any team that has 2 members or anyone that's some lone wolf, do you need a teammate? You want to team up? Okay, we have a team with 2 members. Any lone wolf here? Any teams that need a 3rd member or a 2nd member, please raise your hands. You need a teammate, raise your hand.
Okay, teams or individuals who need other teammates to team up with, please raise your hands, look around, and choose your own teammate. Can we have a QC volunteer towards my right? One more behind. Can one of you guys go to that corner? Volunteers at the back, please keep a good watch.
Guys, we have 1 lone wolf. Everybody needs a teammate. Everybody needs a teammate. At all. Raise your hand, I will pick. I can't see you. No. Nobody wants a teammate.
He's insulting us.
All the teams, please make sure you have your answer sheet. And if you guys need a pen, we have pens for you. This will be all
Take a shot.
Where's Vani?
Guys, please set them fast. We are going to start in 2 minutes.
Keep on.
QC volunteers, please scatter yourselves properly. Volunteers at the back, please keep a good watch. We'll be starting the quiz now.
Hey guys, so our week quiz presents UTPT, which is our flagship event, and now we have our second quiz of the day, which is our Lieut-En-Ent Fest, Lieut-En-Ent. So this quiz is co-sponsored by NDT Data and co-sponsored by Viscom, as well as our associate sponsors are VR & Co and Zen Industries. So also at any time, if you guys have any doubts, we have Viscom members on either side. They'll be there to help you, so if you have any doubts, just ask them. They'll also be there to check on you, like make sure there's no cheating involved. So before we start, we have a message from our sponsor, Viscom.
We call ourselves the people first company. And it's not just a silly college of work. We truly mean it. We try to work with best possible people with the hope that they will build the best products or processes to make profit. So it's people, product, profit for us. We generally do not care much about educational qualifications. But what we care about is your skills, your attitude, your ambition, and most importantly, your culture fit, so that you can take our people first exam forward.
Okay, some few rules. So we have 25 questions. Each question is 1 point. If a question has multiple parts, then it will be 0.5, 0.5. And please, everyone note on your answer papers, there are 5-star questions which will be used in case of tiebreaker. So please star them. They are all in multiples of 5. Question 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Please mark them as with an asterisk. There's no negative marking, so like you can just put whatever answers you want. Q&A decision is final, and we request all of you to keep your phones on silent and inside the bags. Googling is not allowed. So if every team is ready, we'll get ahead with the first question. Question 1. So the Raspberry Will-En-Wide from famous series always posed a creative challenge to screenwriters, with his character and continuing the plotline for the movie. So this was because Will-En-Wide had already achieved his purpose, but still was there. So in fact, we grew so weary of him that when one of them was angry, just felt that why can't we just kill him? And they gave more questions like, what happens if you actually kill him, and why would you kill him? And in the end, that's what they did. So killing him became okay because he would have been dead, believing that his vision would be irreversible, having already achieved it. So based on this context given, identify who is this villain from this famous series. That's not even so. He's just a very famous villain from a very famous series. 10 more seconds and we'll be shifting on to the next slide. Any team wants names, any team blocking hands? Okay, we got teams blocking hands. Again, just focus on the main thing that the last two lines. Ending him finally became okay as he would be dead, believing his vision would be irreversible, having already achieved it. Okay, moving on to the next question. This comic strip was the brainchild of two full-time journalists, Bharat and Shalan Savod, who wanted to create a new form of fiction which they called storytelling. So, because of this, they decided to name the character Dash. So here the blanks are indicative. The super sleuth. After X, who is a real famous personality, he will go on to fight members of his now retired profession from Banduk Star, a parody of a real life nation, and England, and sometimes he took on evil magicians from beyond the Himalayas. Some of the other foreign characters in the series are named differently from their real life counterparts, with names like Gotham, Usman, and Bauer. So based on this, ID who is X. You don't have to fill in the blanks, but the blanks are indicative that will help. He is retired. So he is retired, he fight members of his own retired profession. I hope everyone in the back can see the slides. If there's any difficulty, please let us know. If you guys can't see, you can take one member of your team and come closer to look at the slides. No, we want X. We want the real life personality. We don't want you to fill in the blank. Just give us X on who they made this clarify on. Okay, we'll be moving on to the next question. On June 15, Endeavor RX became the first treatment of its kind to be approved by the FDA as a medical treatment for ADHD. So this company rolls out this treatment, suggests a treatment period of 25 to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week for 4 weeks. So underneath this unusual, often parentally designed treatment are patented stimuli and algorithms designed to target the areas of the brain that play a role in attention function, training the brain to ignore distractions and concentrate on the treatment, requiring hand-eye coordination and major cognitive functions. So what was unusual, or what is Endeavor RX claim to fame? So
Are you looking for a proper noun in the answer or in the description?
description is enough. So you want to know what was Endeavor RX claim to fame? Any teams blocking hints? One team blocking hints. Any other teams blocking hints? Moving on, next slide. Ulrich Friedrich Dash was an American psychologist, behaviorist, author, inventor, and social philosopher. He also used operant conditioning to strengthen behavior. So to study operant conditioning, he invented the operant conditioning chamber, aka the Dash box, which is used to study animal behavior. Based on his extensive experimentation with a particular animal, Dash was the name of the antagonist in a 2007 Oscar-winning movie. Fill in the blanks and ID the movie. So, this image won't help, but it's a picture of him. So, all the blanks are the same, it's indicative. So, fill in the blanks and you'll get the name of the antagonist, which will help you get the movie. Yes, so the blank is actually the name of the antagonist in the movie. Again, the blanks are indicative, so the length of the blank is the length of the name. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, this is a star mark question, so I hope everyone's marked it as a star. In the 1976 film, All the President's Men, actors Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman play the roles of journalists. Journalist is bolded over here. Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, who investigated the Pentagon Papers on a controversial Watergate scandal, which led to the resignation of the US President Richard Nixon. So in 2017, what seemed like a remake of the same movie was released, which was not just a prequel to All the President's Men, but it was a more holistic representation of the progressive ideas of the original film. Which aptly named film are we talking about here? So we want you to focus on like journalists being bolded, and this movie was not just a prequel, but it was more of a holistic representation of the progressive ideas of the original film. Yeah, so the name of the movie gives what you say a sort of connect to what is being displayed here. The context of the movie and name is related.
That's right to say.
Does the new films play on the title of the old film?
Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, so the venue for Super Bowl 2007 in Miami, Florida was unfortunately met with relentless rain. So X, a mega pop star, was actually the one who was meant to host the halftime show. It was said to be the heaviest rain in a Super Bowl for 40 years. But in spite of the pouring rain, X put on a performance which is widely considered the best Super Bowl halftime show in history. And he ended this set with one of his most iconic songs, which coincidentally actually perfectly suited the situation of the pouring rain. So who is this artist and what was the song that he played at the end of the set, which was in perfect context to his surroundings? I'll stay on for 5 more seconds and we'll move on to the next slide. So given below is a non-exhaustive list, that is a large golden bell, a snake, field banana, raspberry and toilet. So based on these items, give me some sort of connection which is there in the field of world film industry. So these items have some sort of connect which is known in the world film industry. We want just the connection itself. We don't want like any specifics. We want just what connects all of these three. The sum all of these five. What connects all these five items in the world of film industry? Next slide. So, Borough Force is a criminal organization where criminals are paired in a male-female pair. So the male members have a number as a code name. A lower number indicates higher rank, while the female members are given a day as a code name, which may be a normal day of the week or special occasion, with special days being indicative of higher rank. So an example of this system is given by the 5th rank, Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine, or Mr. 0 and Miss All Sunday, Miss Wednesday and Mr. 9. So this is how the system works. So special exception was seen in this pairing, who are referred to as the unluckies. So this special exception was given to the unluckies, where members are animals instead of humans. The animal in this case was a male otter and a female vulture. Based on this information, what was the code name given to the otter and the vulture? Yeah, so like if you get one of them, you'll get like 0.5. So again, we want you to focus on this pairing, which is referred to as the unluckies, a number and a day. Moving on to the next slide. Dash Dash is an art installation series by Dutch designer Martin Barks. One of the artworks consists of a 12-hour long video. So an excerpt of this video is shown in the next slide. So based on this video, ponder what was his inspiration or what was the context behind this art installation series. You just want what was his inspiration or what was he trying to achieve with all his videos.
Do you want the title of the art installation? You want title?
We just want the panda, we don't want the title of this art installation series. So we'll go to the video again, but we'll go to the one second, go back to that. So we want what is the panda behind this art installation series. So this artwork consists of 12-hour long videos, similar to the one we just showed you. So based on the video, all of them are similar. So looking at the video, can you like put panda onto what it's trying to achieve? Moving on. Question 10 is again a star mark question. Based on these two pictures below, we want you to find what the connection between these. So based on the quiz that we are right now, what sort of connection is there that relates to the quiz that we are in between these two pictures? Again, we want a very general funder, we don't want very specific ones.
We get big brains.
Okay, some sort of clue, like because this was star mark question, is first one Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz Jr. So, looking at the art form of both of these images, can you form some sort of connect between what's given? Yeah, I just want a very general connect. I don't want any specifics. Yeah, foot funder. We don't want any name, we don't want any particular proper noun, we just want a general funder that connects these two, which relates to the images shown and the driver. Next slide. July 4th in Britain is annually celebrated as X Day, where people gather together in costumes to commemorate the first time dash dash told a famous story. Brits and now others celebrate with tea parties, theatre performance, cosplays, tours of the Oxford area where the classic story was created. One website in description. Decorating for an X-Day party can be loads of fun, incorporating all sorts of themes from the book. Try using playing cards, clocks, keys, white rabbits, pink flamingos, etc. So, based on what's given, ID X. So we want you to identify X, where X is the famous story, and where you can have all sorts of themes from the book, playing cards, clocks, keys, white rabbits, and pink flamingos. Next slide. So we want a phrase which refers to an urban legend or a conspiracy theory, which is around the alleged death and the placement of an extremely famous modern day knight, with a lookalike called William Campbell Shears by his colleagues. So this was actually supposedly done on behest of MI5 out of concern for the extreme distress that would affect his or said knight's followers. This was backed by evidence to analysis of a world famous piece of art in quote. Adding fuel to the fire were references in the work of his colleagues, as they were commonly known for including a technique known as backmasking in their works. So this rumor started around 1967, but it grew in popularity in the late 1969, and then subsided after this knight in question gave an interview to the Life magazine. So in 1993, he parodied the hoax with references to all the evidence that was collected. So we want you to ID the phrase, and the parody that he did in 1993 was phrased with the exact opposite meaning.
Yeah, how do we get it from the person to the place?
this was a modern day knight who was supposedly killed, and there's a lot of evidences in his colleagues. So think of someone with colleagues who in their work use a technique called bash masking. Okay, next slide. So based on this pictures given, we wanted to identify which pop culture reference is shown in these images, or which inspired this makeup brand which is used on these models. So some particular pop culture in recent times has inspired this makeup brand, and these are few of its advertising images. So a pretty famous pop culture reference. Moving on.
Okay, so question 14. The success of the movie X when it first came out saw a huge increase in the number of applications to the US Navy. To ensure continued increase in applications, the US Navy even set up recruiting sessions outside movie theaters when this movie X was released to catch potential recruits as they left the cinema, hyped about the movie's dramatic climax. IDX. No timeline for the movie, but there is a reason. The reason it was. Pushing to the next one. Question 15. Blank was a free web-based multilingual translation application that translated text over web pages in 36 pairs between 13 languages. This application derived its name from a fictional species in a famous comedy science fiction novel, which is also a movie by the way, which further refers to the biblical account of the confusion of languages that arose in the city of blank. So, ID the name of the application and the novel slash movie. And this is question 15. Anybody blocking clues? Again, this application derived its name from a fictional species in a famous comedy science fiction novel, and it refers to the biblical account of the confusion of languages in a certain city in the Bible. Okay, pushing to the next one. Question 16. Blank. The movie is IMDb's #1 rated comedy feature with over 1000 votes with a rating of 10 out of 10. Jock Ramsey, the movie writer, claims he doesn't know who created the IMDb entry, only that it is some overzealous fan or viewer. So IMDb users have called this movie a modern day 12 Angry Men and an existential masterpiece. After Jobs' 50-minute prequel video, him and his friend decided to have another go at it, turn on all optional rules, and after winning point limit to 500, which resulted in a wild 160-minute epic about the downfall of 5 men and the psychological horror they faced while playing this colorful, friendship-destroying game. As always, are indicative, and I think we can put together the fact about how popular this movie is. Okay, pushing to the next one. Question 17. So, this TV show garnered a lot of attention for its crude representation of inequality and poverty. Meanwhile, it also caught the attention of modern art enthusiasts, as the nameless antagonist bookshelf was shown to hold works by Van Gogh, Picasso, René Magritte, among others. Apt to the plot, the show also recreates some of the very famous art pieces, such as Rothschild's Surreal's Ball, Judy Chicago's The Dinner Table, and Edward Munch's The Scream of Nature. What TV show is this? No clues for this one at all. Okay, pushing to the next one. Push to the next one. So, William Shakespeare's X is a series of novels that parody Shakespeare's writing with a popular franchise. This franchise is now expanded into like animated series and video games since its explosive entry into theaters. IVX. The image is much more. Teams at the back, if you can't read, please send one team member front to have a look. Okay, let people come and have a look and then I'll leave it out. Okay, there's too many people, guys, go back, I'll read it out. There's too many people. Volunteers, send people back. I'll read it out basically. So, this is the script clearly. Scene 1. Aboard the blank ship, enter blank and blank. Now is the summer of our happiness, made winter by this sudden fierce attack. Our ship is under siege, I know not how. Oh, hast thou heard, the main reactor fails. We shall most surely be destroyed by this. I'll warrant madness lies herein. Yeah, go back to the question. Clearly, just write down what is the franchise we're talking about. Direct. Go back to the image. We'll push in like 10 seconds. Okay, pushing to the next one. You want me to read it again? Alright. Scene 1, aboard the blank ship. Now is the summer of our happiness, made winter by the sudden fierce attack. Our ship is under siege, I know not how. Oh, hast thou heard, the main reactor fails. We shall most surely be destroyed by this. I'll warrant madness lies herein. And it's followed by a bunch of robot noises. Beep, 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 sweet, whatever. Okay, push to the next one. So we have a video here. This is a scene from the movie Agent Vinod. So the writer director wrote something into this scene just for aesthetics and to make the scene cooler. However, this minor addition ended up having a big impact on the writer director, who realized it's a pretty cool setup and used it as the main plot line in one of his future movies, a major blockbuster from 2017. What is the blockbuster that was inspired by this? Go back to the question. Okay, we'll push to the next question. So, question 20, star mark question. Make sure to write it down. The Youth Protection Revision Act is a South Korean law passed in 2011. According to this law, children under the age of 16 are not allowed to play online video games between the hours of 12 and 6 am. This is done by denying access to online games for sub-16ers, even as the rest of the family access it freely. As a result of this law, many Koreans under the age of 16 have resorted to adopting false identities or personas to access these games. In the context of this whole situation here, what is the colloquial nickname of this act? Again, no clues for this one. Everything you need is in the question. Okay, let's push the next one. Okay, question 21. A blank, again indicator, is a style of musical composition that was commonly seen in the 15th to 17th century, mostly in Europe. It is characterized by the use of polyphony, which is multiple parallel lines of melody with a number of voices ranging from 3 to 8. So basically 3 to 8 people singing in like parallel lines of melody, not the same thing. The voices also have a range of different pitches and are sung by people of different demographics. Demographics meaning, in case you don't know, like they're not all like from the same group. In recent times, this style of music has had a sudden spike in popularity thanks to a certain song in a certain movie. ID the song, which is, the song obviously we need, but the style of music is very central to the song in the movie. They're pretty well connected.
Guess the song.
Yeah, give me the song. Blank is not required, but it's a pretty big way to blank it. has a recent spike in popularity. I said it's had a spike in popularity recently. Okay, pushing to the next one. Question 22. In a recent Stranger Things season 4 episode, guys, can you just like a little bit calm down? Thank you. So, in the recent Stranger Things season 4 episode, Steve, Eddie, Nancy, and Robin are all stuck in the upside down and are ambushed by a group of bats. They first save Steve, who's being attacked by them on the ground, and then continue hitting the bats of each other until they eventually free the area. A little bit later, Eddie compliments Steve for his abilities in taking down the bats, calling him metal and comparing it to an infamous moment from the early 1980s involving the musician X, IDX, and the infamous moment in question. Anyone blocking close? Okay, guys, pushing to the next one. Question 23. Lot of clues in this one, pay attention. Two students of biology at the University of Ottawa in 2012 published their findings on a certain pandemic that they believed was taking the world by storm, with barely any medical attention garnered towards it. The cause of this disease dates back to 1994, though the infection took its time to develop and only began to spread sometime in 2008. The study conducted identifies that this spread with high infectious rates among the younger female population, and while the disease itself is mental in nature, it comes with certain physical symptoms such as crying, screaming, debilitating scarring at times, and a deviation from everyday life. Final results of the study prove that even within a small group of young people exhibiting no symptoms of the disease, it is likely that the contagious nature of the disease will cause an outbreak. ID the disease. Lot of clues. Look at the timeline. Look at the fact that this is very much tongue-in-cheek, and it's very specific about what they're talking about. I mean, we don't need a specific name for it, but like if you can generally describe it, also works. Alright, pushing to the next one. Question 24. Joaquin Murrieta Carrillo was a figure of disputed historicity. According to popular legend, he was a Sonoran gold miner and a livestock herder who was driven to seek revenge when he and his brother were falsely accused of stealing a mule. His brother was hanged and Joaquin himself was horsewhipped. He then embarked on a short but violent career that brought death to his Anglo tormentors. A California ranger by the name of Harry Love was tasked with bringing him to justice, and he eventually brought in a head preserved in a jar of whiskey. It was claimed to be that of Murrieta. This served as one of the inspirations for a famous comic book and subsequently a movie character. Which character? Anybody blocking clues? Okay, nobody. So I will say this. One team is not enough. So what I will say is that look at the context of look at the stuff given in the question. I'm not giving anything more than that. Focus on the clues of where and what. Pretty much like the first thing that might come to mind is what the answer is. Famous comic book that was adapted into a movie character. Okay, pushing to the last question. Question 25, star mark. So, the Vasquez Rocks Natural Area Park is a 932-acre park located in the Sierra Pelona Mountains in northern Los Angeles, California. It is widely known for its distinctive rock formations, the result of sedimentary layering and later seismic uplift. This is named after the famous bandit Tiburcio Vasquez, who once eluded capture by hiding out here. The rock formations here have acquired a new name after the protagonist of dozens of episodes of a particular late 60s TV series was filmed here. Okay, so other films and shows have been filmed here, including the Western Blazing Saddles, The Magnificent Seven Right Again, and Doctor Who, to name a few. But the 60s TV series that was filmed here is what gives this place its distinctive name. What is the new name? Wait until the next step. Very much. You might have seen this very rock in another context. I mean, not the same rock, very similar. Guys, can you go back to the question? Okay guys, that's the last question, but we're going to do a quick rollback. We'll go from question 1 to 25 again, slowly. Okay, so question 1, dastardly villain Y from the series, they had a creative challenge. So they decided that making Y more deadly would defy the character developments. So they got into a debate about why can't we just kill him, what happens, what all this stuff. So, and they ended with
people thought it's a TV series, it's a movie series.
the conclusion that believing that his mission would be irreversible, having already achieved it, identified why. Yeah, this identify why the series, the movie series is not required. Question 2. So, yeah, the comic we're talking about, Blank, the super sleuth. After X was a real life personality in the field, there's a lot of clues in this. Gotham Usman Power, ID X. Next. Basically, Endeavorex got approved as their product got approved as a way of treating ADHD in children. They suggest a treatment period of 25 to 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week for 4 weeks. So think along the lines of what would have this kind of prescribed time. So something again, parentally wellness treatment, but like this actually helps improve the brain's attention function and other stuff like that. What was Endeavorex claim to be? Next. Frederick Blank, the psychologist, he studied operant. For context, operant conditioning is reinforcement conditioning. If it helps. So basically, he studied animal behavior, and his experiment with a particular animal, plant, was the reason that he was the antagonist in this 2007 Oscar-winning movie. The animal has everything to do with it. He used to experiment with the very same animal, which is why he was involved. Like as he was called. His character was given the name of this guy in the Oscar-winning movie. It's not part of the answer. We just want the blank, which is his name, and the movie. Okay, question 5. The film All the President's Men, they played the role of journalists, which led to the resignation of Richard Nixon. 2017, remake of the same movie, which is more holistic representation, but essentially, I mean, you can say plus minus is like on the similar note. Which aptly named film are we talking about here? Star mark question, make sure to write the star mark down. Question 6. Relentless Rain, Mega Pop Star, Super Bowl. What is the artist? What is the song? Why? Question 7. Golden Ball, Snake, Peanut Banana, Raspberry, Toilet. What is the kind? Also, this is an end quiz. Please note. Question 8. So, in case somebody didn't figure this out, like while the question was going on, basically the male members are given a number, the female members are given a day, and if they're given a number or a week, day of the week or day of the year that is like special and indicated. And a special exception to this rule was seen in this pairing referred to as the unluckies, where the members are animals instead of humans, and they are given a number and a day that is very much related to their movement. Next question. Blank Blank is an art installation series by Martin Bass. It consists of a 12-hour long video. Put funda behind the art installation series. We won't be playing the videos. Images. Just a rough description of what the connectors is fine. Question 11. July 4 in Britain is celebrated as X Day. To commemorate the first time this story was told. Brits especially, but now others celebrated tea parties, theatre performances, and they use playing cards, clocks, keys, white rabbit, pink flamingos. Enough clues. Question 12. This phrase refers to an urban legend around the alleged demise and replacement of a modern day knight with a lookalike, and this is sort of a conspiracy theory, and it was backed by evidence that was the rumor started around 1967. I did the phrase, and the parody was phrased with the exact opposite. Okay, question 13. Also guys, the answer will be given right after, so if you guys do want to, please do stay for the answer. I did a pop culture reference. Question 14. What is this movie? that created an increased number of applications, especially related to the movie's dramatic climax. Blank blank, what is the name of the application and the novel that basically what it does is translates applications into 36 words between 13 languages. Question 16. Blank indicative, which is the OLS stance, and and the proper movie basically turns on all optional rules, and it results in a psychological horror of five men as which they face while playing this colorful friendship destroying game. 17. So, show garnered a lot of attention for crude representation of inequality and poverty. Bunch of artworks are shown throughout the TV show. What TV show is this?
I think it's
18. What is the IDX basically, which is Shakespeare's writing? Next. What is the inspiration from this scene? And what is the movie that was inspired by this scene? Question 20, Starma. What is the nickname of this act? Given all these clues given the question. Question 21. What is the style of musical composition? I did a song that was based on the musical composition that was recently very popular. IDX, the musician, and the famous moment in question related to this part of the show. ID, this tongue-in-cheek disease. What character was inspired by work in Muyata Kariyo? Yeah. Last question. What is the new name of this Raspberry Rock Natural Area Park as associated with the 60s TV series? Yeah, guys, hand in the papers. Volunteers, please collect them quickly. Guys, can you go back to 23? And we request all of you to stay back because the answers will be shown right away. Are all the answer sheets collected?
I see if he doesn't.
Is there anybody whose answer sheet has not been collected yet? Anyone? All right. Okay, we'll be pushing for the answers right now. Everyone's collected. Let's go to the answers.
Answer each other. You didn't. I hope you did. You
You didn't know that?
भाई मेरा भी को डर लग गया देखो
Okay, question 1. Any guesses for this one? Yeah, it is Thanos. Question 2. Surya Gavaskar. Yeah, it's a video game that helps people with ADHD focus and pay attention. Question 4. Any guesses for this one? Ratatouille and the name? Skinner. So he used to experiment on that a lot, which is why Skinner used the name of the villain. Okay, question 5. The post. Question 6. Perfect. Prince and Purple Rain. We mentioned rain like 6 times in this slide. Question 7. Perfect. This is award for the worst movie, such as Kela, Snake Award for Bullet. Pushing to question 8. Any go to the answer. This is this Friday, Mr. 30. Half points for either Friday or 13. Yeah. Also, guys, for those who mixed up the gender, like Mrs. 30 and Mr. Friday will not get points. We can adequate examples of which one is that females are given the dates and males are given the number. I mean, if you mix those up, there is no point for that. Yeah, so what we're going to do for this one is, if you've given the funda of Friday and 13 other names, it's fine. But it's specifically given that it's Mr. Friday and Miss 13, that's the wrong answer, so I can't give you a point for it. Question 9. Any funda for this? Yeah, it's a 12-hour thing where the clock moves according to like what they push the hand. So some sad people sat in this for 12 hours.
So what is his answer? Don't waste time.
Okay, pushing to the next one. This time doesn't give you points, sorry. Question 10.
Art has created like an artist from the same country.
The same country, that is correct. So, yeah. If people are given roughly that Verstappen is Dutch and painting is from Dutch. Okay, question 11. Any Alice in Wonderland, that is correct. White rabbits, pink flamingos, that's Alice Day. Question 12. Paul is dead. That's correct. This is the conspiracy theory that Paul McCartney was killed and he's been subsequently replaced.
Guys, no. I knew this.
So what's the question like? Alright, so giving points for anything that has to do with Paul McCartney and dying away or him being replaced or something along those lines. Just Paul McCartney won't do.
Still have like
anything which has Paul McCartney and relating to him passing away or being replaced is fine. Question 13. Euphoria. Question 14. That is correct. Top Gun is the answer. No points for Top Gun Maverick, only Top Gun. Question 15. Yeah, the biblical connect is the Tower of Babel where God gave them a bunch of different languages they don't understand each other. That is the Babel connect. This Babel is fine for half and Hitchhiker's Guide for the other half.
Yeah, that this is why you shouldn't underestimate. I was underestimating myself, not supposed. Now you have underestimated
Question 16. Uno is correct. It's almost 3 hours long. You? Question 17. Yeah, Squid Game is the right answer. Go back to the art. Yeah, these are the scenes from the show throughout. Also, Korean, if you look on the right side book. Okay, pushing to question 18. Shakespeare says Star Wars is the right answer. I didn't want to read out the Beep Beep Boop Boop for obvious reasons. So, a lot of clues here. Ship is under siege, main reactor. Question 19. Andhadhun, perfect. The blind pianist is what he used in his next film. Okay, pushing to question 20. Cinderella Act will give you points. Because after 12 o'clock you're not allowed to access the video games. Cinderella Act, star question. Cinderella Act is the answer. Question 21. We don't talk about that's the right answer. So go back to the question. So the blank is radical, which is the family community, and that's also the musical style they use. So we don't talk about Bruno, gets you full point. Question 22. Ozzy Osbourne and perfect. This is Ozzy Osbourne and biting the head off a bat.
Let's start.
Okay, pushing to question 23. Beaver fever, beaver mania, anything work? So this was a paper talking about how beaver mania is affecting people. Also, guys, the answer is not menstruation. That is not a disease that spreads among people. Just saying, we got too many answers. Pushing to question 24. Which character are we talking about here? Focus on the fact that he is Spanish and Zorro gets 2 points. Anything that has the word Zorro is fine. Mask, even though we're not talking about the mask of Zorro, but Zorro is fine.
Wait, where's the lady?
Question 25. Perfect. The answer is technically it's Kirk's Rock from Star Trek. I mean, anything to do with Star Trek or Kirk works. We have the contacts on all the sheets. We'll be calling people who qualified in the finals. So if you want to stay until we announce, that's also fine. Finals will be starting in about 20 minutes. And tomorrow we'll be having a sports quiz and a science test quiz. If you can, be there. Volunteers, make sure to write the number.
I'll keep two just came here without like just yeah, I'm there are 20 markers. I fucked up the 20 markers.